this law, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes.
The only issue I had, Scott, was, on,
Attorney Gibbert.
yeah, was on, the building permits. I think we, it just says here for residential for $75 flat rate. I think there's a square footage charge as well. So
Yeah. I think it was 30.
25.
And the only other thing I found on that was under the, for the bridge, Taylor Road, it's HEV, not HUV engineering.
This.
And there's a defense update.
So, item number 12, your update, it should be ATB, not AQB.
Okay. So move.
Yeah. You're approving
With changes.
with changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All in favor? Yeah, you're gonna talk about the new town clerk hours?
Mentioned, right. So beginning January 1st, we are going to remove the lunch time that we're closed. So for example, on Mondays, we'll be open 9 to 4. There'll be no 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. So it'll be straight through 9 to 4. Tuesday stays the same, 9 to 12. Wednesday will be 9 to 6, right straight through. Thursday, 9 to 12. Friday, again, 9 to 4. And the second and fourth Saturdays, okay, the 9 to 12. Now, one stipulation, I just need to remind people that if it's a holiday, the Saturday, you know, or whatever it's holiday, we won't be open. So we'll put it in the newsletter like we do all the time. Okay, and again, we're in that time of year where weather can cause issues. So if for some reason it's a big bad storm, you know, if I'm open, that's gonna make everybody wanna come. So we'll have to just pay attention to that. So these all began January, well, officially January 2nd, because we're not open
Okay,
January 1st.
thanks, and thanks for making those changes, appreciate it. Veteran and elderly exemption limits. Do we have the current rate here for the simplicity?
The current rate for veterans is $1,400 for, forget if it's disability and $200. Where typically the veteran could then combine the two and have 1,600. The state said you could no longer combine them. You have to choose one or the other for the exemptions. So the town can basically decide that they want to keep the 1,600 together if they want to do that. They also, in this process, raised, and I think there was a gentleman here a couple of meetings ago that talked about requesting the $4,000, which is the maximum you can get for an exemption for a veteran.
Yeah.
So basically, what we would be deciding tonight is, does the select board want to stay with the $1,400 or $1,600, or we want to put on the ballot increasing the exemptions? And
Is that a ballot vote or is it?
according to this, so the decision is yours to make, but wanted to make sure of this, make you aware of this change to the statute, so that if you wanted to create a warrant article, you have plenty of time to do it. You don't have to, I believe, but you can.
I know it's exemptions have been done by warrant article in the past.
Because
I don't know if it was.
the rest of the town picks it up.
What was that?
The rest of the town technically divides up whatever
Understood.
exemption we create, so.
How long, do you have any idea how long we've been at that rate?
Nobody, I'm not aware of a change in anybody's recent increase. It's been a while.
Any thoughts?
I think I don't have a problem with increasing the exemption because we do have a number of veterans that are facing major health concerns. I mean, anybody who's Vietnam with an Agent Orange, if they're still here.
Yeah,
And I know the gentleman that was here was talking about it because he wanted his wife, because his
It was Alan.
spouse can carry it on.
Yeah, that
That
was
was Alan.
Alan.
Alan, okay.
Yeah.
you came in for this specific reason, sir, so do you want to speak up as well?
No, I brought it up, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, the county administrator. And right now, the current is, I think it's $200.
Well, there's
It's
two,
100, 100 for me, right, so it's $200 for the year. And with the way things are going, property taxes, increases at the federal level, et cetera. Veterans, in this area, I think could stand to get a little bit of help. And I guess with that being said, I would ask to go to the maximum limit, which indicated in that letter I gave him that most towns and cities are going to the max on that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys really taking a hard look at it and doing the best you can.
I guess if I was, even if we have the power, I would be uncomfortable going to the max as just a select board decision. If we put it to warrant, it doesn't go into effect for another year, correct? It won't go into effect in.
yes.
We'll have to wait for a full year? or
I think it works. It'll have to wait the 60 or 90 days, but I'll have to double check that.
But the tax rate is already set for next year, so, right?
Correct.
We said, how does that affect that, do you know? If we put it, raise it mid-year,
Everything that passes in March is gonna affect the tax rate 2026 October,
right, okay. so-
which gets
So-
collected
Yeah,
next
so
year.
we fall into that, we could fall into that.
And basically, as the listed, Brendan gave me that we're currently, with the exemptions the way we have it today, this is elderly and veterans. Well, if you look at just veterans, it's $54,000 is what the total exemptions are for everybody that's in there.
Assessed value or no, that's the actual.
That's the number of credits.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Are we just talking veterans or veterans and elderly?
No, elderly would go on second.
so this is
Or veterans right now.
veterans and, disability, veterans with disability.
Veterans, well, there's disabled veterans, and then we have the elderly exemption.
Is that something that can be decided tonight on the veterans?
Yeah, I believe it, yes, they can, if they decide to, they can say, we're gonna keep it at the 1,400 or 1,600, they can say, we're gonna go up to 2,200 or
It's not a
whatever.
warrant article, I guess.
So the warrant article
Okay.
would then be a March thing, we would be putting a warrant article for the vote in March. If we go that way.
I thought I read that as saying that the town itself can, or the select board can do it without a warrant article.
Correct.
We can, but what Scott was mentioning earlier is that in the past, it's always been done by a warrant article. The select board does have the power to do it without a warrant article, so.
So
That's what we're talking about right now, whether we can increase it somewhat or increase, like I said, I feel uncomfortable going to the max by the select board, just by the select board vote, I would put that to warrant, but I would go a smaller increase directly, probably.
Well, you currently have two exemptions, just veterans and disabled veterans, right?
Right. The veterans exemption includes both pieces. One gets to 200, one gets to 1,400. They have to choose which one they're getting, and I think he's.
That's if they're disabled.
Excuse me?
That's if they're disabled. I'm not disabled, so I only have option for 200. I don't have the 1,400
Right.
option.
This is what I'm saying is we can raise, I don't have a problem with raising Both, but we keep it separate so they have to choose, show that they are disabled for the maximum or a lower amount just for being.
Well, I think, didn't Chet, you just said you can't combine them now,
Cannot combine them.
Correct.
going to the state, so.
So it's basically choosing, it says, combat service, an optional credit rating from $50 to $500 may be adopted in municipalities. So the 200 could become 500. The 1,400 can become 4,000.
For the disabled.
Right. Well, I mean, I'd make a motion to go to 2,400, but
And do we need to
without
prepare a
going,
warrant article for
without
the
going
rest?
to warrant. Yeah.
Don't go to warrant at all.
Was there a decision? I'm sorry, I
No,
didn't hear.
not
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. It's Christmas, guys.
I would,
Lost
at this point, I'll second that.
Well, hey, you know.
And if anybody was to want to bring it as a warrant
There's a reason for that,
article,
though.
as a petition article, they still could.
Well, yeah, anybody, you can always bring a petition article to be requested.
I'm sorry.
You can you get 25 people to fill out an article that it should go to maximum. It would then appear on the ballot and the select board doesn't have to vote on it all. It would go to ballot by definition. And you would talk to Ann about what you need to get from her to make that happen. So if you could find, I think it's 25, right?
25 registered voters.
Registered voters.
Yeah.
And you can get that put on the ballot.
So we just raised it just tonight, we raised it to 2,400. 2,400 from 1,400 to 200.
I'm sorry, I heard 2,000 tonight, something about 400.
Yeah, that's that's just the veterans.
Standard veterans,
Standard record would be 400, disabled 2,000.
2,000 for disabled.
So you're keeping it, well,
No,
No,
we're
we-
dropping it, but not all the way.
200.
It was 214, now it's 402,000.
It's one or the other.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And like I say, if people in town want to see it go higher to the maximum allowable, then I would recommend, bring it forward as a warrant article by petition and then
What's the date for that, to get a petition warrant
It's right around January
Thing.
10th or 12th
Yeah.
or somewhere. It's right in that neighborhood. I have to get the exact date.
When would when's the next voting on the warrant articles?
That's what I'm saying, is you'd have to get a petition put together and put a petition warrant in by January 6th or 7th, someplace right around that range. Okay, and bring it to the town office, and then it will be put on voting for March. Okay, you just need to get 25 signatures.
Not
Could probably get that
not gonna be
tonight.
here for 4 months, that's a problem. That's why I wondered what the cutoff date was. You
Yeah.
said the 6th.
Right, so I mean, when are you leaving? So
You can do it.
If you have time
You
to
do
do
it
it,
before
the
then, you're
holidays are here, but you only need 25, and they just have to be registered voters. So I have to vouch for that, to make sure they're voters, and we give it, goes to the select board and put on the ballot as a warrant article.
So all I just need is 25 signatures and
And whatever the wording has to be for the warrant article, that's the thing that I don't know where.
how do I get some help? Because I have no clue.
If you want, we can give you a hand with that.
I'm sorry.
We can give you a hand with that.
Thank you.
Yes, Wes?
The only thing that I would like to see if you're gonna put that to vote is I think in the warrant article, somewheres it should tell how much money the rest of the town has gotta come up with. I'm not opposed to doing this. Don't think that I'm not, but I think it could either help or may not help, but if people don't understand what's going on and what it's gonna, how much it's gonna affect their pocket.
Yep.
It may not get the vote,
An educated decision.
right? I just something, whoever writes the warrant article needs to say, I think you said $54,000 is all it is right now, or something
Yeah,
approximate.
approximately.
Is all that the town would have to make up. I think if you had something like that,
Well, what basically, when you come in, if you're trying to go to the maximum, have our assessor do the math and say, this is what the net effect will be.
I just think you should have that.
Well, this explanation can be done at deliberative.
Right.
Right, or
But, yeah.
somebody have something, so somebody ask the question,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't-
guys can benefit from it.
And isn't there something on the warrant articles that usually says it would cost the average household this much?
Yes.
That's what you want to know, right? What's it gonna cost you if you vote yes?
That's what you, I just think that you would want that in there.
Yeah, normally at the bottom, you'll say like a mean value of a $200,000 house will cost you additional $1.44 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Elderly exemptions?
Basically, the current limits that are set for income, for a single is $26,000 and married is $42,000. The asset limit is $70,000, married or single. But that asset limit, does not include your primary residence up to the greater of 2 acres or the minimum single family requirement. So basically, your primary real estate doesn't count in the calculation, and you can't have more than $70,000 worth of assets. That's what it is today. We looked it up, and it's about the same thing in Enfield right now for the same numbers. Looked up Lebanon, theirs was probably 50% higher. You know, so it's just a matter of,
So what do we have the ability to change?
you have the ability to change those limits, the income limits
And
and
what,
the asset limit.
what do they get for an exemption?
It's an exemption off the value, the assessed value,
Yeah,
and it's like close to, I wanna say, close to 100,000 of a reduction of assessed value.
can we figure that out and figure out what the impact would be if changing it?
Yep, I can bring that back from Brendan next week.
Okay.
I know Enfield used to be 80,000 of value.
Yeah, it said 70 when we looked it up online today.
Can I speak to that one?
What's that?
Can I speak to that one, elderly?
Yeah.
So being a perfectly healthy veteran, I'm less concerned for the regular veteran discount. The discount for the veterans that have issues is a different story. But the elderly, with my time now on the budget committee, I know there's things we have to pay for in the town, but I feel that we're pressing those people who are right on the line into the ones that need help because they won't be able to make their taxes. So I would strongly suggest whatever we can do to relieve some of the weight from those people who are living on Social Security alone. And let the working class pick up a little bit. I'm not for, taxing the rich. I don't do that. But I do think that there's things we have to pay for in this town. And I feel guilty charging them to people who are like in their 80s, who are living on Social Security. And when they retired, they thought they were good, but their taxes went up to the point where they're struggling. So I just hope that you want to take a serious look at the elderly exemptions and do whatever you can for them and let the rest of us pull the weight.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Appreciate that. Water abatements, we have four. What did we table last meeting because we didn't have data on, John? Is that what it was?
Yeah. All the ones that we tabled last week.
This is for 53 Reagan Road. Diane, you're here, I take it. Okay, so John, you went out and did readings?
Yeah, we took it actually from the head. We replaced her head.
Yep.
You know, she still has it, but.
Yeah.
We replaced the head on her meter, and I took the readings off the head. So you adjust under the minimums, the 2 quarters.
Okay. So you're suggesting we debate 709.94?
Yep, and I guess that's the,
709.94.
yeah.
So is that for the 2 bill? Because this is only, the jump was for $400, 466.46.
Yeah, well, the minimum is 111, 50 or 48, I think it is, yeah.
111.
So
So,
the bill came in at 466.
she paid the minimum.
I paid the minimum, I paid what I normally pay,
Yeah.
which is $111.50. Typically, that was,
I'm trying to understand how we can abate $709.94.
Because they,
because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Shelley paid 446.
but you paid it over 2 quarters.
She paid it twice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she paid the exact same thing
Well,
2
that's not
quarters.
right here.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's, it's that chicken scratch, the poor chicken died.
Motion to approve.
So move. Aye.
With me.
You have notes on this, this here says table, John. This is one for, the New River Apartments.
Yeah, we approved it last time, but for some reason it was tabled.
It was tabled because they hadn't made the formal request, which I have.
Oh, okay, you do have it,
I
okay.
have the formal request for the abatement.
Yeah.
Where do you have it now? Is it here or?
It was, well, it seems like I split it with some other papers. I have part of it here.
I just received the paperwork, I didn't receive the formal request. That's why I didn't, with Trombley's, it was the same thing, I had to match over the formal request. And the reason we tabled it, didn't have the formal request with it from Indian River, for the people that own it.
William Pryor, John.
Yeah.
Asked for, so these typically using about 5,500 gallons, now it was 9,200 confirmed usage. What are your notes on this?
On that one, I think it's written at the bottom,
It says,
she skipped a period.
good read,
Yeah, oh, that one's a good read, yes.
good
Yeah.
read, not applicable.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to deny abatement.
So move.
Well, it really wasn't an ask for an abatement, it was just asking for a verification of the,
Yeah, and I talked to him about it too.
it was just a verification of the reading.
Okay, so that was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's on, Bruce Road.
Guy Service, Labrador Lane.
Yep.
1 to 331, no reading charge per 2 billion.
Yeah, two billing.
Oh, 2 billings, okay.
Yeah.
Which I called in 2 billion.
Yeah, there we
That
go.
would solve a few problems. So motion to, or your recommendation to debate under.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
so move.
On favor, aye. Jocelyn Barney,
We approved that last time, but I didn't have a figure for
Okay.
it. So I added the figure in.
so the amount is 655.10. Did we figure out what the problem was there?
That was another one where there's two buildings and they were set as in the same building for the addresses and the accounts.
So, right,
So we were going back and forth.
is that getting fixed?
Yes, yeah, we have brand new, two heads in that building.
Motion to approve
So move.
655.10. For aye.
Okay.
You come up with 2 billion, John.
Okay.
Indian River Apartment, do you have that?
Yeah. I know I printed the last two. Somehow I lost the front cover page.
And that has all the numbers?
Yes.
That's just, that's quarter four.
Only. I didn't get any. Quarter 24. You lost your cat.
Water's frozen too.
I was at a conference yesterday and every one of the water bottles was frozen. You're sitting there squeezing it.
Oh,
I'll make a motion to approve pending the letter. If you can put a copy in our boxes.
I will do that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Might have been in your email. You might have printed it for me. And I lost it.
Okay. Is it in the chair?
So I was looking at it. That's just me.
Road safety audit.
Yeah, Tim Josephson of the Regional Planning Commission, and in conjunction with, Ryan Porter, related to, it's Route 4, Blackwater Road and Royal Road intersection. Basically, they're looking to make an application to the NHDOT for a safety audit. They're gonna list all of the crash data, all of any of the issues that we're having. And they would just like authorization from the select board authorizing me to sign the application. There is no cost associated. This is a DOT project. They do it for us. We just have to meet the criteria.
Good.
So,
Motion to approve.
I'll make motion to approve it.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also on the grounds that what's there is what they designed.
where,
Didn't we apply for that? I'm gonna say like 5-6 years ago.
That was
Yeah,
done
that's
when they
what
built,
Came up with.
And this is what they came up with, and it doesn't really do anything, and
That's
that's.
what made it worse.
Exactly, yeah.
Can we
I think it
not
needs
put it in a
rotary.
traffic circle?
no rotary.
Somebody
mentioned that word. The R word.
Don't laugh, they love doing them, that's.
I know.
they added the lanes supposed to simplify, and then in DOT's own words was we really screwed it up.
Well, then why don't they do anything about it?
They're gonna put a rotary.
They want to start,
Don't laugh, they wanna put them into everywhere in Lebanon.
they want to start
Go to Europe.
their safety audit.
Or
So
Massachusetts.
Good place for a stoplight.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
We
it's
can't even
saving
get
costs
that down.
much,
Hey,
Phil.
we can't even get that downtown. so-
Gonna do LEDs.
Yeah, there we go.
This is just a waste of everybody's time, but every year I get crap for putting the snowman for the Canaan Old Home Days for the craft fair there because people say they can't see oncoming traffic. I've driven it myself. You can see it if you come to the stop sign and stop and look. What you can't do is the California rolling stone.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
Rotary, that's the answer.
Don't laugh,
When-
don't give them any ideas, they'll do it, Wayne.
I don't
On mornings,
care,
they
'cause I
have
don't
a
go
police
cooking for
cruiser
stuff.
available to set out there at the end of Blackwater.
Yeah.
There are no problems.
Yeah, well, exactly, everybody slows down.
But how much, who's gonna spend what to have a cruiser there every night?
Enfield, we already invested in a resource officer. Enfield should do that. I know it's not Enfield, I'm just saying.
They don't have enough problems.
Take one of the old cruisers and leave it there.
Yeah, we'll put a
Like
blow up.
John?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Potato Ridge, you wanna talk about that now since we're on road safety? Or you wanna wait? No, we can do-
You get
let's do-
drafted.
We can,
let's do
we can
draft
skip to
first.
it. All right. Yeah, I put a draft letter
Yeah.
on your
Just
spot.
thought someplace.
You want me to start going through it, or
What?
you want to read it out loud, or we want
No, I
to?
can read it. So we had discussions about EMS coverage for Grafton and how much we've spent over the last couple of years. It's been a topic of discussion. So this is where this letter is coming from. We talked about it at the last meeting. This is from our select board to the select board of Grafton. The town of Canaan has been reviewing costs and service related to EMS services in outside towns. The town has experienced excessive drain on both financial and personnel resources serving the town of Grafton as depicted in the draft invoice dated 9/5/25. The cost per call for Canaan Fire Rescue Department is $1,399 per call. And per the invoice, the town incurred $64,354, not including calls after that date. As a result, so that was through September 5th, that's 64,000. As a result, the town of Canaan Select Board has voted to provide this correspondence stating that beginning January 1st, 2026, the town of Canaan will invoice the town of Grafton $1,400 per call. And a similar arrangement has been in place with Canaan Fast prior to the town taking over the fire and rescue. Please acknowledge your agreement with these terms by signing this correspondence. Upon receipt of the signed document, the town will prepare a formal contract to be provided to the town of Grafton for approval. Failure to agree to the intent of the letter will result in the town of Canaan ceasing EMS coverage for the town of Grafton. It is important to note that EMS coverage is not included in the mutual aid agreement. Please do not hesitate to contact us with questions. So, any discussion on that from anybody? No? Yes? No?
Bravo.
Are you signing this? It's
I'll sign up here where the letter is, but you can sign at the bottom where it's acceptance.
Oh, yeah, we've already accepted that, so this is just the draft of the letter. Now we can talk about Potato Bridge.
I got a question on that.
Sure.
So my question is, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're doing, just asking a question.
Yep.
So if we somehow something happens and we end up like Grafton or whatever, as a town, we can't be mad if somebody else does this to us.
That's fair.
Correct.
That is correct.
I mean, the reality is,
Say that's fair.
Okay, I'm
not
just-
able to cover, we're gonna have to pay somebody else to cover
I'm
us.
just saying, because it's probably gonna happen if people find out we're charging, so if somebody's gonna come cover us, we could end up getting the bill.
Well, I mean, we already charged Dorchester, we already charged Orange.
I understand that, I was talking like if Enfield has to come out here, and do something for us, because we're busy, or if Grafton for some reason mysteriously gets enough people and they have to come cover us, that's justifying them sending us bills.
That's fine.
It is, I think that that's all arises because of the abuse that has been put in place between Grafton and Canaan, so.
I'm just
an excessive number.
throwing that out there.
Yeah.
See, one of the things a lot of people don't understand, Wes, all these towns for many years had independent fast squads, ambulance services. They were not town sponsored.
I understand.
So they never were included in any mutual aid agreements. So what's gotta happen is either we have to be reimbursed for the service we're given, because the fast squad used to bill before the town took it over. We've got to be reimbursed for the service we're giving, or the Upper Valley region or whatever has to come up with a mutual aid agreement for the region, one or the other. But at this point, like you were saying, that's more than we're paying. At the end of the year, it will be equivalent of what 2 of our full-time EMTs are worth.
I'm not disagreeing, so this ain't gonna affect mutual aid either?
No.
Okay.
That's where this all arose from, is because they were all independents. They were never included in any mutual aid agreements, only your fire.
I'm fine, I just
Yeah, no,
want to make,
that's-
I just want everybody to clear that if we're gonna start charging, I'm sure that other towns are gonna see that and decide that they're gonna start charging. That's all.
Well, and here again, this is only EMS. The fire department is still under your Upper Valley Mutual Aid.
So there's gonna be some give and take on understanding on it, okay? But we've been, excuse me. Is it okay if I speak?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can't tell you if it's 58 or 59 calls this year. It's one or the other. as of this date, we've been down there 59. They've come,
No, disagreeing with what.
yeah, no, and I just wanted to kind of, because I think set in stone, no, but like, they've been called 5 times. They were able to send a truck to us twice to cover like second calls. So like, if we're utilizing that system correctly as mutual aid, then if they come to us 5 times and they cover 5 calls for us, we don't bill them for 5 of their calls. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the point where we're really no longer mutual aid when we're at that point. So I think that needs to be figured in that. And I agree with you that, yeah. I mean, we'll go cover infield, but infield will also come cover us.
Right,
So there's that give and take that we need to understand.
right, I'm not worried about us, I'm worried about other towns.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing what we're doing and get mad because we're doing it and then decide that, well, if they're gonna charge, we're gonna charge. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and I, there's a pretty good understanding. I mean, you've been in the,
Right,
so there's a good understanding between a lot of the towns, so.
yeah, and I get it, I know that we go to grab. And we don't.
Yeah, and we'll pull that paramedic. If we don't have one available, we'll pull that paramedic. But they'll also utilize us too. So I've had conversations with the chief up there. So we've had a couple that we haven't paid because we've done services for them. So, and it's kind of that communication that needs to happen to make sure it flows smoothly without being mutual abuse, you know?
I'm not disagreeing that they don't abuse it by any means, because I know.
Yeah.
I was just throwing that out there just because I know how some towns work and how things operate. I've been around long enough in.
And there's
Dealing
not a
with-
provider on the truck nor me that doesn't want to be there for the people.
I
You know what I mean? But there's a give and take to it.
I'm 100% aware.
Thank you all. Certified letter.
Okay.
Okay, please, so we don't get over.
Yeah, plus I send an email, just as.
Certified receipt
Yeah.
requested.
Taylor Ridge.
Potato Road Bridge, you have a proposal for for a temporary repair design, by HEB, who's doing the permanent construction. The state has deemed the structure unsafe, which is why we closed the road a couple of weeks ago. We do know that there's a new head of the department at DOT and a little more conservative. So we're gonna work with DOT. We're looking to have HEB look at, is there any structural additions we can do to the bridge without completely replacing the bridge or putting a temporary bridge in? That'd be first choice. Second choice, there is part of the proposal, they're going to be reviewing the temporary bridge that Enfield has to see if it can work. Determine if we can get a temporary fix for the next 2 years while we are finishing the complete replacement. So,
So all those options are being looked at with
Yes.
that for the 52,000.
Yep. and that includes going through like the construction phase as well. So
And what was so we're still looking at end of 2027 for the current regular rebuild or
Yes.
scheduled rebuild?
Yes. And I know that it might push, depends on how grist mill and that are gonna be done on consecutive years, and I believe this is the first one in 27.
It was gonna be 26, but they pushed it back, I take it.
I mean, they're hoping to go to bid, I think possibly this next summer, but it's just the process. When actually, the state has said that they're okay with trying to expedite the permanent fix, but we're gonna look at the temporary, so we're looking at both. How quickly can we get the new bridge in and what we do to cover it for a period of time.
Okay. I just say for good money gets bad money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're gonna balance in this process.
But we gotta spend 52,000 to figure out if it's
Well,
enough.
it's either that or we leave it, because we're not gonna have it will not be done in 26. The
Yeah,
earliest would be sometime in 27.
Sure.
But, and the other piece of this is Theta Road Bridge, from a construction perspective, in the grant process, the town will not be paying any money for the construction, and they will pay in only 20% of the design cost.
Right.
So, it's a timing issue.
that the state will put in place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that on the Grist Mill Bridge, does the town have to pay for the Potato Road temporary bridge? And
No.
the state only pay for the full bridge replacement? That's what I seem to remember from. Grist
So
Mill.
we paid for the temporary bridge on Gristmill Hill Road.
Yeah.
We paid for that.
That was 180,000
So we-
or something.
Yeah.
So we will have to
We
pay.
started out renting it and then we ended up buying it because it was gonna end up being far more than the rental cost, so.
And my point was that, so when we talk about what they're gonna pay for the Potato Road Bridge, if we do have to put a temp in for a year, we have to pay for that.
We have to pay for any repairs or the temporary.
Yeah,
bridge.
that's all I wanted to just get that out there.
Enfield, I believe, has said kind of like, it's not gonna
They
cost.
have one available to us that potentially they would let us use.
Oh, I heard you say the one in Enfield. I thought you meant buy one like the one in Enfield.
It's still a cost to installing it, it's still a cost, but it may not be long enough, and, so there's other things, and you still gotta do design work just to put a temporary bridge in.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also, in the process, AGB says they would look at it and see if they could do, not use that temporary bridge, but make some small structural changes that the state would.
Or some girders or something.
Yes, basically,
Put
near
some
the
posts underneath it.
near the abutments is where the bigger issue is, and there's some deterioration, so if they can support it
Yeah.
and get the DOT to sign off on it, then we're golden.
But it went from a safe bridge to a close it now,
Overnight.
let's, yeah. So, and during that time period, the head of DOT changed names, so. It's a different person.
There's a different engineer overseeing it now.
So, yeah. Motion to approve that.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you for looking into it. Yes, sir. Do you have anything else?
Couple things. First one is the contract for the reval. We had gotten the proposal early on, when we were doing our budgeting and things like that, as to what the reval would be. Basically, they gave us the formal contract now, and it's the same amount of money.
Yep.
So we just need to approve the actual contract.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, that's a $75,000 contract for reassessment that's required that we put a delay on anyway, so. Okay, go.
Second, letter of support for USDA Solid Waste Management Grant application. This is from the Regional Planning Commission. They're just looking for a letter of support for a grant. Our letter would say we are writing to support the Regional Planning Commission's application to the USDA for funds to provide solid waste management assistance to our New Hampshire communities in your region. We support the proposed projects as complementary to our work and goals. And basically, it's provide food scraps, technical assistance and trainings, provide school chemical safety training, provide hazardous waste collections and trainings, and provide municipal waste management technical assistance and training. So these are the things that will be included in the grant application, and they're just asking us to send a letter of support, which I got today.
Okay. Make a motion. Yeah,
I'll second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And can we, since we're talking about solid waste, have you done any research yet or?
Just the beginning of it, just starting to make contacts and try to get some.
Is that where hazmat contract, hazardous waste collection through
Regional
Valley
Planning
Lake Sabi, is that still intact?
Yes.
Okay.
3 years, was it?
Yeah, as long as they don't dismantle.
They got, that's the same grant money
I know.
you're asking you for. It's $180,000.
So, the town office, we've been doing some work with, trying to figure out how we're gonna go through things, and we've identified some issues and things that we need to look at. And Carrie Ann has a little written statement that can kind of cover all the issues that we think will be.
You were here.
I told you we were gonna be.
So you've stuck her with the dirty work.
No, actually, this is kind of the other way. We agree on all the issues, but she went right down. She goes, I got a note, I'll read it in there. Okay.
Yeah, we figured between all the board and budget meetings the last few months, different situations were brought up over and over again, but we never really came to the board and put it on record. So we just wanted to do that and list everything. We really just wanted to speak to the functionality at town hall for all of its employees. The location's small for the amount of work being performed. To remedy this, we experimented with Chet sharing an office with the full-time assessing position. In hindsight, this has made the chaos even more so. Department heads regularly request to meet in the finance office so they can be out of earshot of other employees. Employees are constantly in and out of the town administrator's office discussing issues with the assessing coordinator and having that person meet with the residents out front. So there's constantly foot traffic in and out of the office. For the physical state of the building itself, normally on typical days entering town hall through the employee entrance, this stairwell constantly smells of sewer gas. There's numerous fluorescent lights throughout the building that have been burned out for multiple years. The library just requested an outside contractor to replace light bulbs for them. Floor trim boards regularly fall over and we just prop them back up. There's trim missing from around the foyer opening. Heating is an issue because battery-powered thermostats are located in zones that are not accessible to the heated location they control. Both bathrooms are regularly leaking. The basement bathroom has flooded 3 times in the past 6 months. And just yesterday, the first floor faucet was found to be leaking over the weekend, and that now needs to be replaced. So between the physical disarray combined with the interpersonal chaos, it's really been causing a work environment that's disruptive and difficult to concentrate. We have a lot more reporting requirements over the years than what we had 20 years ago. So we really need to be able to focus and fill out forms, create spreadsheets to answer questions. So the employees at Town Hall would like to request approval to rearrange seating once again, and we hope this would be the last time. Our best plans would be to put the full-time assessing position back out onto the Town Hall side, allowing better accessibility to the public, and then serving as the backup to the deputy tax collector. They work together a lot. The treasurer's desk and related files would move into the finance office. We would like the building inspector to move to the fire department due to the amount of work done with the fire chief. And with the town administrator office free of employees, this can then be set up as an additional meeting space for smaller conferences. Or a second option to consider, would the town hall be able to reclaim the basement for additional offices and file storage? Currently, the library doesn't monitor residents roaming around the hallways. This causes numerous unnecessary interruptions to Monica and myself. Working in the basement, kids and patrons are consistently roaming the halls and entering offices asking for help and directions. Whatever recommendations are approved, the end goal is to further our effort in creating a calm and functional workspace.
Can you repeat that?
What
Leave a copy of that in my box, please.
What is the library currently using downstairs? Just bookshelves?
They have stack space down there.
Yes, it's the children's section.
And a storage unit in the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay, one other item that we would, that just came up just recently, with EMS. The state rules have changed related to, billing and things like that when it comes to it's Medicare and Medicaid, and you can just describe that.
Yeah, so Medicare, Medicaid, there was a whole like RSA thing going through with them this year, and it got approved out. So basically to keep up with them and what they're doing, if we change our contracting or in our pay rates that we're charging and do 3.25% of what the 3.25 times the Medicare rate, we'll put everything in line for our payouts. So when we charge and build, we'll be able to be paid on those.
Okay.
So we have some rate adjustments that we need to do. I can fill out one.
That's like, so, I thought we were still talking about the town officers.
No, you could put it in my box. I thought we were done.
Yeah, well, no, we are. Thank you, yeah, you can bring that up. Is that something we have to vote on, or is that?
Well, to make the change from the billing company, it needs to be approved.
Yeah.
These are the new rates, so if he has to respond to the town offices because
Well, that's where I thought we were going.
No, yeah. And basically, like, you know, this is just authorized to change to these rates. And it's basically new rules.
Yeah,
And those rates will stand for 3 years, the way it's set up.
why are we so much lower than the national, the New Hampshire average?
Why are they so much lower than the average?
You always answer a question on the question.
So in the yellow was what our rates were.
Yeah.
And then they are lower than the New Hampshire average, just because we actually did an increase already this year. Because we were historically billing low to begin with.
Okay. I get that, but we're still,
So what we did is we set them in between the New Hampshire and the national average on the original one. We tried to be as close as we could in there.
I see. Non-emergency transport level 1, you're dropping by 300?
Yeah, because we're over on it.
Well, you're below the national and you're below this New Hampshire average.
Right, but we're not,
Correct.
we're over what the Medicare, the 3.25 times the Medicare rate is, which is what the max they can pay out, they'll pay out on.
Got it. Okay. So I understand that, but. How many of our calls are Medicare?
Fair amount of them are.
Come on, you always have the numbers. A fair amount is not, you're always very precise.
I actually haven't pulled those numbers, so
All right. I'm just concerned about that change, but.
I can, and I
Great, I'll
will,
drop
if
that.
you wanna.
Motion to approve.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. When will these go into effect? Oh, as of
Is it January
It'll be
1?
January
January
first.
1.
And our fee schedules, we can change at any time, so if we find that they're not working,
Okay,
we can readdress them.
I just, it seemed funny that we're dropping that $300, so,
Right,
and going below what the state and national averages are.
so we, originally that rate there was $7.95. And this year we jumped up to $14.75. So
What's the point?
I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah.
We took a bigger jump on that one before, so, but we're finding that we're not getting paid out on that. Because there's always readjustments when it goes to your insurance company.
Yep.
So,
So would I be led to believe that even though the New Hampshire averages are higher, they're not getting paid at that rate either?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if we get paid at the rate that we build on everything, it would be a great day.
Oh, yeah.
I understand.
Like,
that,
we would
but-
be able, but unfortunately, that isn't how it goes. Once it goes into the insurance company, and then comes out of there.
No, I just want, cause some of these numbers are misleading. And those are their hopeful numbers, not the real numbers.
Right. Yep, because some insurance companies will pay that, right? And depending on what you have for insurance coverage and we bill out at our rates, we'll get full payment on it, and then others readjust. And then they kind of cap you off. And then you're left to go after the residents. So if you have insurance and you're like, yeah, I had to call 911. And your insurance company only pays A so much, you're responsible for the other half. So I also don't want to we want to be responsible for them too, you know what I mean? Like
Understood.
caring for what's coming out of them, so.
Can you do adjustments for that? Like I know, like,
Can you fairly do adjustments across the board?
you know, like one of the things is if you go to a doctor and you have insurance, they charge you X. But if you say, I don't have insurance, they'll negotiate down for you. That happens all the time. So I would think it would be able to do it in here and still be above board. It's a normal practice.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
But you wanna pay the person to do that, is it worth the money?
Well, that's, just gonna
Because you
say
gotta
the
have
administrative
somebody-
cost on that.
Right. you're gonna have, that would probably require, I'm assuming somebody else, because you're not gonna have time to do all that.
No, but you could end up doing, just writing it off at the end.
Well, and that's
It
what,
shows up looking like a loss, but in the end, you got your max payment.
well, we end up writing off anyways because we're not getting it, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do have a collections of unpaid, so.
Yeah, but the ones that are, got an insurance carrier, you know, they would stay in the queue, and the ones
Yeah.
that the insurance paid out, you write it off and keep moving.
So we have to be kind of careful with that too.
Yeah.
Cause like there's some insurance companies that if I transport you, the insurance company will actually send you the check to forward to us.
Yeah.
And then they come in, they're like, oh, well, we didn't see a bill,
Yeah,
or we didn't, and they haven't paid it yet, or they have the money and now they're coming in and they're wanting to negotiate for like half of what it actually costs to transport.
Why's it gotta be so hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause everybody's trying to pin the dollar, you know?
Human nature.
Yeah.
The whole medical health insurance.
Believe me, the billing stuff takes a lot of time. There's a lot of calls on it.
I'm feeling it.
Anything else?
Did,
Mr. Coffee? How many heads are installed and?
Oh, I didn't even have a number. I, was battling over the weekend with my inlet, new inlet is having issues.
As of Friday, how many,
Um,
heads have been installed?
Oh, I'd have to look. I've been running around with this, Friday was here trying to clean they had sewer that was coming up through their drains right here. And then I was over at the high school or the middle school in the afternoon, elementary school, I should say. So I can give you an exact number tomorrow morning.
Great.
Yep.
You put it in the
Yep.
box?
Oh, yeah. I'll be out for bereavement for 4 days.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, no problem.
And your brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law, yeah.
Sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. Any other business?
did you receive the pole placement request?
No, that's right here.
I did look at that. We're all good from that.
Gonna say we were just gonna do the both placement assignment usually.
Well, you called me today because power company called, said they want to get it in and they turned it in 2 weeks ago, only to find out they turned it in yesterday.
Yes. So,
Wes, you had other business?
Yeah, I just got a question.
Yep.
Ready.
You ready?
So I know like last year, when I asked this question, nobody knew the answer to it, but,
I was thinking,
the Lebanon landfill's going up again on their rates.
Yep.
Are we gonna make sure that we go up on Orange rate?
these are one of the things that we'll be talking about is the landfill rates. We've been dealing with the fire and EMS and just.
I understand that.
So we
I'm
haven't
just,
done the
I
legwork.
know that the Lebanon landfill's going up.
Yeah.
And I know when I asked if we raised Orange's rate, nobody could answer my question because they didn't know, or you kind of overlooked it because you were shocked with the rate and all that stuff. Just the reminder that I know they're going up like another 10 or 15%.
Yeah.
15 for another 3 years.
So we,
Every year for these.
right, so we need to make sure that we look in the Orange and
Agreed.
I know one of their increases this past year was after we had signed the contract with Orange. So we were kind of stuck on that.
so we might want to look at maybe, making it 30% instead of 15.
Appreciate you coming in for the reminder.
Well, I
I mean,
mean,
good to see you. I haven't
we're-
seen you in a long time.
we're charging Grafton, so.
Yeah.
I just feel that that's another place.
Trying to get reimbursed for Grafton. We're not trying to charge Grafton.
Well, no, but that's another place where we lose a lot of money.
Yes.
It is.
Agreed.
We're trying to pick them off as we,
I know, I was just reminding you. That's all I was doing. Was reminding.
Changes in lux.
according to Wesley, if you haven't got it, expect to get a call
Oh, yeah.
from Casella on one of our compactor boxes that is pretty much beyond repair.
I'm shocked.
I personally would put in a budget for a new compact box.
Okay. Well, we always don't get it back. They bring back whatever they have.
They would bring back, if they had two of them, they would bring back your box every time.
Okay.
They only have one. So it's cheaper. Our box doesn't go in rotation. It gets staged in the can yard, but it's cheaper for the town if they bring a swap box out and swap it than it is if they come get our box, go dump it, and then come back and then go back out. You're paying for like 5 trips, 4 trips, whatever you wanna call it.
Yep.
When they swap the box, you're paying for one. That's why they swap it. Sometimes like this weekend, it was unfortunate. They had like 3 trips, I think, if I am right, or they should have had 3 trips. Should have had 2 40 open tops and a 40-yard breakaway, but that's why they swapped it.
JR had breakdown Saturday.
That's why you don't, we had 2 boxes. And they were told not to put their boxes in rotation, they wouldn't get put in rotation. That's, I mean, you know that from dealing with.
Yeah, and here again, you look at the cost, if they're in rotation, what you save, but it depends on where that box get used in that rotation. It can go into a company that's putting caustic in it or whatever and drastically shorten the lifespan of the box. You have to look at the cost of the box, ensure that it doesn't get used in that situation and pay more for handling, or it goes through that situation, you have a quicker replacement.
The box that I'm talking about is probably 25, 30.
That's one of the original boxes
Right, yeah, it is.
from the eighties.
It's old. So it's not like it ain't had its life, but I don't think that it's worth putting any money into, in my experience of what I've fixed.
Well, it's a matter of finding trash reacts on steel. And you get to the point to put new panels in that box. What do you weld it to?
Nothing well.
Yeah.
We got good useful life out of it, 25 years old.
We got your waste oil.
Getting it.
I noticed that too.
Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
all in favor? Aye,
Can I
oh,
get a
what?
quick non-public?
Oh, motion to go into non-public, thank you. Remember, I did not have a good day today.